low large numbers, and we are demanding that President Ruto must go. The military and the police have no option. I've never seen anywhere in any revolution where the military has turned on its own people. I've never seen it anywhere. So the challenge we have is to get as many people as possible on that day. Let us come into our millions. When we are in our millions plus, they can never dare shoot or do anything like that. And I can tell you on that day, we shall occupy State House grounds, and the president will really find it right. And from CBD, we march. If they dare try to disrupt the people, a million people in CBD, then the whole of CBD can go down, because it can be worse. They can never dare do that, I'm telling you. They dare try to disrupt a million people in the CBD, it can be worse. It can be worse. So my submission is this: let us come out in large numbers and let's stay the course. And Ruto and Raila uniting is going to be worse for our country, and we should stand as a people and say no and move on as a country. Thank you.
Asante sana Patrick. That is very insightful. Mzalendo.
Yes, I'm here. I hope all of you have wanted to say we need to start being radical and not joke with this issue. But and you know when you come over here and start saying now tuko down sijui nini, lazima tukue serious. Tusipusi. Alafu on being radical, I wanted to say we should have like hiyo space ya Amerix ya Sunday. Inaweza kuwa na all big wigs. Ndio isikae ni joke. All big wigs watapull very big numbers, na tunapanga strategies, si kwenda kwa space kwa vitu zote minerals sijui nini, hizo vitu zote tunajua. Historia ya kuja kuongelea the same problems bila kupanga. Sasa na nyinyi mnasema we are peaceful. Bro, we need to be serious, because at the end of it all, mi na risk life. Atujuani na most of you hapa, but mi na risk life yangu. Niko na 2 kids. Sasa ni noma jo. Mkisema ati tunarudi chupa, lazima kama ni kutokea tunatokea. Hakuna story ya kujoke. That could be my side. Hakuna story ya kusema ni Gen Z. Everyone is in this. It's a Kenyan. Unajua story ya Gen Z ni different.
They are more enlightened in these issues. So that's the few things I wanted to mention, and to also continue encouraging every one of us here. We continue with the vigilance and continue engaging and discussing and proposing ways that we can make this country better, not just for us, but even for the future generation. God bless. Better, not just for us, but even for the future generation. God bless you, and God bless Kenya.
Asante sana wakili. A notice. Marvin Mamboga, because he's traveling from
Yes.
Ndego, you are saying something?
Yes, I want you to read out the number.
Okay.
I think I can see the number on top of the.
I can't see it myself. Oh, I got
Click
it.
on
I got it.
KOT.
I got it. I got it.
Esther.
Let me just confirm whether everything is sorted. Just a minute. All right. Let's proceed. Asante sana wakili. Mzalendo, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Esther, for this opportunity. I would like to start by saying that I'm very grateful for the submissions that fellow patriots are putting ahead. And I would like to encourage us. I would like to remind us that, however, it doesn't matter.
Ministers. Thank you.
Asante sana Mzalendo. Jojo. 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 Daktari. Daktari,
Yes, Esther.
go ahead.
Thank you very much. Good evening to everyone on board, KOT, Esther, and all the speakers and members present. Thank you very much for keeping the fire burning. Leo mazee, mimi nimekuja hapa tu kutuambia tusichoke. I have heard people speaking na ninasikia kama watu wengine wameanza kutia uoga, wengine wameanza kuchoka. Hata yule ndugu wetu kutoka Mombasa, ningependa kumwambia tafadhali tusichoke. We have come a long way and we did not come this far just to give up. Yeah, if we were to give up, then we should have given up on day one before we started losing people. But on the lives of 60 plus that we have lost, and many people still missing, and many families in pain, we cannot afford to give up at this stage. So let us carry on. Let us be encouraged by all the negative things that are still happening in our society today. So tafadhali, twendeni mbele, let's stand tall. We've come a long way. We've made several wins, and we are just about, things might look like we are, but to me, I look at it just before dawn. So it's the darkest hour before dawn. Brothers and sisters, don't tire. Let not your hearts be discouraged. Believe in the cause that we have believed in since we started. Believe in the gains that we want to make going forward. Because I want to maybe just react to a comment from one of the speakers earlier on to the effect that whatever our good friend Wakili Ndegwa and the team are doing to present petitions to Parliament is an exercise in futility. I want to appreciate but disagree with that position. I think the correct position is that this battle must be fought in every possible front. If we don't present those petitions before Parliament, before the courts, this rogue regime, may be tempted to think that we are okay with everything that they are doing. So we must fight on all possible grounds. And this I have said before. We must have different wings, different people, different making use of what they have at hand. If it is their profession, like Wakili Ndegwa and his team, making use of this, so be it. If it is the artists, unfortunately, many artists seemed to have just been interested in the finance bill. I don't know why many of them are now not actively on board like they were the other time. But again, that should not discourage us, because kwa hii safari kila mtu ako na stage yake. Kila mtu atashukia kwake, wengine walinunuliwa from the other time, we remember. Wengine wakanunuliwa baadaye, wengine watashuka kesho. So let everyone alight at their stage. But what I can assure you, at the end of it all, there will remain a faithful remnant that will carry this message and this fight to its conclusive end. The battle lines are drawn. We cannot step back at this stage. So let us, whatever Wakili is doing, please let us do it. we must do it even when we know that the courts are 90% or 100% likely to rule against that petition. We must be able to present petitions to the vetting committee of parliament, even when we stamp what this rogue regime has given to them. We must present petitions so that they know whatever they decide to do, the Constitution allows us to do it. Our Constitution allows us to tell you that when we supplement you, that when we supplementary and special to students, some of whom just did not have in us must push us to do what we have to do. The lecturers like us are also crying because the situation is not good. So please, if you have nothing that can encourages you at this moment, let the far we have come encourage you. Find encouragement in everything that you can do. We did not come this far just to give up. We have nothing to fear except we forget how these revolutions have been fought and won in the past, including under very difficult circumstances. The Maji rebellion we read in history, I always remember, it took them to build faith when they had nothing. That woman called Kinjekitile had to convince them that they would just take water and some millet flour, and it was water from a particular river, and millet flour, and it would make them immune. That course, even the Germans feared to fire their bullets because they thought that these people were immune to their bullets. It took them time to come and realize that, they were just played. Nobody was immune to the bullet. My friend, we must believe in this cause and we must carry it forward. Sometimes when I get discouraged, I always find something to encourage me. Today, one of the things that encouraged me is when I logged online and I came across a video from one of our comrades, Joshua Okayo, that president of the losses of KSL, the Kenya School of Law, who was abducted and dropped somewhere a few weeks ago. And I saw him in a matatu spreading the gospel of this revolution to the people on board. And he was telling them, he was finding it, shouting, I think he was drunk, shouting. And I was encouraged when his fellow passengers actually reprimanding him to keep quiet and listen to this message. How can we be discouraged at this time? When somebody on their own volition can stand on a matatu, maybe you have never imagined that you could be a street preacher or preaching in the buses, but that guy stood in the bus to pass this message to people, and he told them, we need to come together, we need to hear what this movement is saying. So my friends, don't be discouraged. One other thing that encouraged me today is when several people reached out to me, unknown to me. Several people reached out with messages of goodwill telling us, you are on the right course, you must continue, you must explore all possible ways to ensure that this movement does not die. How can I get discouraged when people are telling me that, both from here and from abroad? Please, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, do not be discouraged. If we don't do it, we are doomed. If we do it, we have the hopes that we have a future for ourselves, for our children, and for the children of our children. This revolution is the only thing we have. Well, this revolution for us who have not been, who are coming from scratch, as I was saying, is the only thing we have against a people who have all our resources at their disposal, who have all the state machinery and power at their resources and at the disposal of their children and the children of their children and their posterity. For us, this revolution is the only thing we have. We must fight for a sustainable country. We must fight for good governance. My friends, don't be discouraged. Let's keep on. I saw in some space yesterday, some people also downplaying all these things that we are doing. And as we said, let us keep focused. If we say NANE NANE, let that be the subject. Don't listen to distraction. Any fights on social media, sijui Maverick, sijui anapigana na Anifa, Boni sijui anapigana na nani, wanarushiana maneno makubwa makubwa sijui wapi. Those are meant to discourage us. Those are meant to distract us from the main course. We cannot be distracted when the enemy is already on the campaign ground. And he used to get into power can still help him to retain power in the next election. That is why he has gone to the campaign. It worked for him last time. It behooves us, ladies and gentlemen, to ensure that it doesn't work for him this time around. So we can't be discouraged. If we step out now and the enemy is already on the campaign trail, what are we saying? How will we stand against the blood of our comrades that paid the ultimate price? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Let us keep strong. NANE NANE is the name of the game. Thank you.
Wow, that was very insightful. Let's appreciate ourselves. It's good to give flowers when we are alive. Just put some emoji of appreciating yourself for good work. Thank you, emoji, an emoji for have Liz Josephine.
Hello, can you hear me, Esther?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I just want to take the first opportunity to say thank you, Esther, for holding fort. And thank you for sharing the information about KOT traveling, because I've been on this platform for a long time. I went out and came back in. The conversation was a bit different, but he had not spoken. So it's good to let us know that he's on the way, and we pray for his safety as he's traveling from Mombasa. So earlier we had a conversation about political had come in saying political parties will give us a negotiation platform. And I wasn't able to chime in at that time because I was dropped, and then I had to come in and join on the queue. So I just want to go back a little bit to that and say that at this point we are not in a position to have political parties. And I think Ndegwa was able to chime in on that and say the same, that political parties will be a form of distraction, and it will remove independence that we have right now. So we don't want to get an avenue of manipulation, because once we have a political the people who are championing for political parties, I think those are voices that are looking for avenues to get us to be exploited or political class. And we do not want to negotiate with the government at this time. We have given them our requirements, and they have not been able to deliver them. So the idea of political parties, I strongly I'm strongly against it. And I'm sure some people who have joined now are not understanding why I'm speaking about it, but earlier it was one of the main discussions that we have. I recommend that we continue staying fluid. That way, they do not know where to attack. Because the moment we say we have a political party, that means we are not going to be cowed or to be swayed to register a party or to be called a Gen Z party or whatever it is. I am totally against that. Another thing I wanted to chime in was civic education. That was another conversation was here earlier. And on civic education, we know government normally gives us civic education programs and platforms when elections are nearing. And these programs are never as strong as expected, right? So what I was thinking is this platform on this space, this is where this revolution started. Why don't we make it stronger? Let this be our civic education platform. Wherever you are, if you're here, I'm sure you're able to have data. So if you have an opportunity you can share this platform with the Mama Mboga. You can have your Twitter space, put it on speaker, and have your Mama Mboga or your Boda Boda guy or the people around you, or even the young men in the estates who do not know about this platform. And let us share these spaces with them. Let us know, because we know the mainstream media has already been has been has been compromised at this time, as we saw in the past protest that we had. They gave us a total blackout, and if you continue relying on them to show what is going on, we are going to get we are not going to get any audience, right? So this is the platform that we have, all social media platform. If we are even able to make it stronger and stream it live on YouTube, stream it live on TikTok, stream it live on Facebook, and even have a radio station that is aligning with us and stream live all this conversation, I think this can be a very good opportunity, because I can speak for me as a person, being on these spaces since this revolution started. I have learned a lot more, and my knowledge has increased compared to compared to the amount of information I have learned from the government-sponsored civic education programs. So I am here to encourage us, the people who have the technical ability to expand these places, to make it cease. We need your support, and we are willing to learn. Like for me, I'm willing to learn. How can I make this bigger for the people in my area? How can I ensure that Mama Boga gets this knowledge, right? Because sometimes you're riding with a boda guy and he feels like the people who are protesting are interfering with his business, but he doesn't know that it is through this protest that boda can turn into a matatu and turn into a bigger business. So we need to go out there and enlighten these people. And in this platform, we have everything we need in this platform. We have people who have the ability to be presidents here, and we have we have advocates who are enriching us with this people who can be cabinet ministers right on this platform. So let us not feel like we are small. We have everything we need here. The political class is taking advantage of us because they think where people feared authority and people could not question power. But we are enlightened, we are learned. It's only that we have not gotten to that point of being a president or being a cabinet minister. But we have enough resources on this platform. Let us not make it small. Let us expand it. Let us get those opportunities. Enlighten us, also us who don't know. Enlighten us. If you have the idea, enlighten us on how we can make this a bigger platform for everybody. Because I know it can reach even to the people down in the villages if we decide to do it. And my final submission was on NANE NANE, because that's and one thing I know is that NANE NANE is going to be huge, and that will be a make or break for this movement. Because guys, you need to realize we are going for a war. The government is not sitting pretty waiting for us to show up. Also preparing for it, right? So we also need to be mentally prepared. As besides the fact that we are physically prepared, we have to be mentally prepared to know that NANE NANE is going to be something huge. The government is going to push back in a big way. I read online, and I said this on another platform, I think yesterday. I've read 2 tweets that the government is training goons in Boni Forest, which is at the coast. In my mind, I was thinking, is that why the president has been at the coast for a long time, that they're preparing goons for NANE NANE? I don't want to sell fear, but I'm just putting it in for NANE NANE. We have this information. It may not be true, but it's better to have this information and prepare for it than to shun it and then it turns out to be true. So as we prepare for NANE NANE, we are going for war. Let's prepare even the people who are planning to travel from up country. I would advise that don't travel as a group. You never know. Goons might just get into those buses, right? And something happens. So if you're traveling, have your team, but don't travel as a group. Kila mtu apande their shuttles or their buses, get to Nairobi, and group once you're in Nairobi, even in accommodation spaces. Be careful how you go through accommodations, because we have goons out here. We have people who are all against all this movement. So we have to be very careful. We will have goons on that day as we march forward. We have goons marching against us. So NANE NANE is going to be a war, and it's going to be a make or break for us. Some people will give up if that does not succeed. But the thing is, we have to keep marching forward. We have to ensure that whatever we started, it comes out successfully. It doesn't matter when. It can be tomorrow. It can be NANE NANE. It can be a month from today. It can be wherever. But let's keep up this spirit. Thank you, Esther. Thank you, KOT. Those will be my submissions.
Asante sana Liz. Let's have Josephine. Josephine, are you present? Josephine. Can anyone hear Josephine, or is it my internet? Josephine, what's up? Josephine? Okay, I'm dropping Josephine. We have Ruben. Ruben, say hi to us.
Hi, guys. It's nice to be able to participate in the space. And thank you for having me. Very, very wonderful ideas and suggestions. I'll be very brief. I have three things. First of all, I want to really, really encourage you that you can do it. I mean, this revolution can be won. And I want to say I'm with you all the way. For many that are listening tonight, especially those that have not encountered me before, I need to indicate that physically, I'm actually blind. I've been blind since I was 3 years. So my entire life has been about struggle, fighting the system that discriminates you and tells you you can't go to school, you can't do what. But by God's grace, I teach at the university now, and I'm involved in a lot of social activism. I was on the streets in Eldoret. I have been on the street. And so I want to challenge us not to give up until this thing is finished. Secondly, I want to say we can use multiple means in order to prepare for NANE NANE. Those of us that can call into radio stations in the mornings, especially talk shows or whenever, piga radio, ghetto radio, piga, hata kama ni vernacular, if you're able to speak vernacular, talk about NANE NANE, encourage guys to turn out. But also, as one of the comrades here said, you can do it on the matatus, wherever you're traveling. Let's do it in the estates, door to door, person to person. And let us also extend it to WhatsApp groups and your private chats. Let people know it. The last thing, challenge, especially those that are below 35. I'm above 35 myself. And so I've been in this struggle for a while. If you check online, you'll find that. I want to challenge each and every one of you that is 35 and below. Young people are not leaders of tomorrow. So much as it is good to be part of the results, I want to challenge as many of you as possible, whenever an opportunity arises to run for elective office, run for office. Many of you are graduates with degrees, with expertise, some experience here and there, with masters, you can be the leaders of this country. So tuanze kujipanga vile tunaweza jaza hizo position na watu young ambao wameona mbele. The submissions I've had on these spaces kwa Americs na hapa na several other actually inaonyesha the youth are ready. They are ready. So begin to prepare, think about it, and you can DM me. We talk about how to prepare you for participation, and take up kama ni MCA, MP, governors, senators, at a president. I mean, who said you can't be? So I want to challenge you to participate. So after Ruto goes, so what? We have to have a totally new dispensation of people that think different, that love this country, that are that do not judge people on the basis of what they have or where they come from. So I want to challenge you. It can be done. It has been done in other countries, and you are down. Let us do it. Asante.
Asante sana, Ruben. Maybe I would love to read a comment here for Wakili. Please, Wakili, kindly inbox. I share my contact so that tomorrow you might have me further. Wakili is the one with the Wakili. That is Wakili. I don't know. It's who?
No, this
Wait a minute.
Ndagwa.
Is it Ndegwa? Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. Kiswahili inanichanganyanga kidogo. Wakili. Wakili means what in English? Those who are good in Kiswahili, help me. Just shout. All right. No one is ready. Okay.
Wakili is a lawyer.
Oh, asante. Doctor, go ahead. Dr.
Sorry.
Dot. Kuna wenye wamejiandika daktari. I think doctor. Go ahead.
Excuse me. In fact, I was just having my dinner. Asante sana kwa space, and appreciate for the time you've had. Mine niko nitakuuliza swali moja ndio kila mtu anielewe. Nataka kuuliza hii swali wa Kenya. Kenya na sio sisi ambao tunapose gava. Hata these are the Kenyans, the ones in the side of the government. I want to ask them this one fact. Explain to me how somebody who believes his God-given right anaweza kuua na asifanye kitu, you expecting that person to ever give you your freedom. See, you look at history, you start going back and you see what was perpetuated by the colonies when it came down there, what they left. Then you'll understand the system which has been operating down there. The fact that we have made humanity become worthless. Because I shatter, or I fail to understand how somebody can actually do the atrocity which he did on the 25th of June and still be in front of people. And people sit there, Kenyans sit there, clapping for him and listening at him. I mean, how rotten are we in our souls? How evil can we be? Is it because he wasn't my brother, he wasn't my sister, he wasn't my cousin, where is humanity? Where is humanity, guys? Because we talk too much. We've been talking on X and all that, but where is humanity? And this is why I didn't direct it on our side. I directed even to the side. You need to understand that. So this is a collective call for Kenyans, because that's why I indicated that I didn't focus on our side. I focus on both sides. I'm standing for Kenya, and I've always said this because we talk a lot on X. But literally, when you switch your phone or your laptop or your gadgets and you walk out there, what defines you from the one who has been radical here or abuse you? Or what defines you? That people can you can engage people, or people can start engaging you, start asking you why are you doing this or why you. There's nothing. And I've always said I try to push this idea that tafuta scarf ya Kenya, funga hata kama ni kwa kichwa, hata kama ni kwa jeans, hata kama ni kwa shingo, wear it. Let that be a symbol of what we're fighting for: a better nation, a better motherland, a better Kenya for each and every one of us. We cannot sell our land, and we cannot sell our soul to the devil and sell the only thing which defines us, our land, that is Kenya. So please spread the word. People walk enda kazini, kama unaenda biashara yako, just carry Kenya, take it with you everywhere. Let what defines you and what you are wishing to lay your life down for the future of yourself, your children, and the generations to come. Thanks a lot for the good time. Say bless. Nane nane pamoja.
Asante sana. I can also hear another energy from behind. Anyway, VK, go ahead.
Hi people, how are you? Thank you for letting me be on space. I think this is my first time to speak on space. Currently I'm not in the country, but wherever I am, I will still continue championing whatever that is taking place in Kenya and this movement. I'd want to say that it's not just about the movement, it's about we as Kenyans. I have a few things. First of all is to rest in peace to the fallen heroes. And for sure, we will not let that blood go down the ground without continuing with that. One, I'd want to air out my anger, like it's with utmost disgust for Ruto and his government, and I'm not ashamed to say that. And anyone who's in this space who's trading our democracy for us to be silenced, shame on you for your own selfish interests. Then the other thing is, I'd want to say that if you can be able to do civic education through animations, through stories within the communities, within the villages, huko ndio shida iko, especially with these border people, mama mbogas, all they rely on is just zile news wanaona kwa TV, of which na tunaona sahi it's already hijacked. The other thing I want to say is, I'd listed them down, sorry. There is no way we can stand as young people and let our own parents silence us. Personally, today I had hiccups with my mom because she told me, can you stop posting whatever you're posting, especially using your number? And I was like, no one will silence me in fear, and I'm not fearing to say that Ruto must go and Nane Nane must be there, and I will continue championing, and in whatever way I can contribute, as much as I'm far away, in whatever way I can contribute as a Kenyan, I will always do that. And I want to thank everyone who's inputting information here. We are learning a lot. We are getting to understand a lot that is happening in the country. Trust me, mi sikuwa najua vitu zingine, nimekuja kuzijua juzi. So nimeanza tu kukua ka activist out of nowhere, but it's because of the things that we are learning. And I'd want to tell people that huku nje kwenye tunafanya kazi hizi majuu mnasikia, it's not easy either way. In these countries, they also have policies, they have rules. First, they embrace their own people in terms of employment. So sijui mkiambiwa mtoke Kenya mkuja na huku mnakuja kufanya nini. It's really hard surviving out here. One, we have no social life, we have no good food. Anytime we try to come back to Kenya, we are trying to unatry kukula zile vitu zenye zitarudisha damu nini and what. And here you are being told ati mtapewa pesa mu travel nje. There is no jobs out here. Let's work on our country. Let's push this government out. Ruto should be one person who should be thinking of how to revive industries. Ukiangalia EPZ ile inakuanga Kitengela. We cannot be making our own jeans to sell them to these Western countries, alafu zinakuwa branded Tommy Hilfiger, unakuja kuinunua tena Kenya at 15,000 ama at 20,000. That's insane. I don't think I have much more to add on. It's just to thank everyone. God bless Kenya. And personally, I'm not giving up on this. Ruto must go. privileged enough to make it to Kenya every now and then, but I will not stop championing for this movement. Whether it's through Mchanga, whatever platforms you have, I will continue pushing for it. I'll continue reposting, putting it on my status, and hata nikimitwa tu kazini, especially watu wa diaspora. By the way, most of them wako tu ati wanasema nini, as in most of them they don't know what's really happening. So if we can get an avenue of where we can hold these Twitter spaces to the public, that will be a very good thing. And yes, thank you very much, and do have a good night wherever I am. Yeah, bye bye.
Wow, very insightful, very insightful. I'm sure there are a lot of VKs here who are, when you post something, your mama or your father inadu wewe anyway. It's not an easy journey, I'm telling you, it's not an easy journey. We are fighting a lot, Glass.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
I would like to start by saying thank you for hosting this space, co-hosting this space, and everyone who has contributed in this space. This is the first space I feel like I'm in tune with everyone who's speaking. Everyone is saying my thoughts, everyone is sharing whatever I was supposed to do. I'll just like to have a few words and say that a people united can never be defeated. If you repeat that in yourself, you'll understand that it motivates you to realize that you can take this country back to where it's supposed to be. So our time is now, and our time is now. And one thing I need to add on civil education is that I've experienced this. Today I was driving my car. I happened to have someone join me in my car, and he was a mechanic. And in our conversation, I was listening to space, and he was wondering why I'm in politics, and I'm listening to politics, and in my career I have no interest. I've never been interested in politics. There and then I realized that these guys don't know what is happening in this country. There are so many people down here, the motorbike people, the mechanics don't understand what is going on in this country. They're telling us you leave these guys alone. They don't understand. And from there and then I started talking about what we were hearing from space using the economics who were saying that he used the analogy of who during his time. He said that 2 billion is being stolen on a daily basis. He calculated the 2 billion in the entire year was going to go to 600. He went further and told everyone in Spice FM that 600 billion. The doctors who are striking, they're striking for to get a salary of 200,000. If 500,000 would be given to each doctor, and the about registered doctors are about 9,000. Those doctors can be paid for 14 years. There will be never be a strike for 14 years. He gave another example that the roads here in the entire country of Kenya, they're like 16,000 kilometers. One is enough to make 12,000 kilometers to do a road worth 12,000 kilometers. According to using the analogies of the transport, saying that they're using 50 million per kilometer to make roads. He was very educated. He was talking about the schools. He told the school people that in universities, there are like 600 universities being registered on a yearly basis, and there are like 600,000 university students being registered on a yearly basis on a budget of 200,000 per year. 600,000 students could be paid for their entire school fees.
There's one element that I think plays a major role, which is to do with leadership. I had one of us talking about representation, and I think representation is very key. What has really ruined the minds of the majority of the youth, or the traveling various parts of the East Africa, and specifically being in Kenya, I've had conversations with a number of people regarding what is going on, where we are currently after the protests that we had. And I think we still remain divided as a people, not realizing that we are fighting a battle that we should not stop. At one point, we had our forefathers. They fought this fight for freedom, and we had this freedom. But the freedom that we have seems like we went back into the hands of the colonialists. So we don't enjoy that freedom at all. But then we are supposed to focus on where we are heading to. Like, we cannot play the same game every day and expect to have a different result. If we are moving a journey, and of course we are looking forward to no giving up, then that should be the course. For me, seeing youth being manipulated politically, someone just coming up and then all of a sudden they just they're summoned maybe to some meeting somewhere and they fall off the journey. Like, I really find myself, it saddens me so much. Like, what is the cause of the fight? Have the youths become so greedy to the point that they cannot really feel that they're supposed to have a force together? They're supposed to set them forward. Like, how united are we that we can move together as a solid team and ensure that the end game is achieved? We are not talking about the NANE NANE here. This is a big one. But are we all ready to get there? Because at the end of the day, things can be messy. I like the advice that has been given here, of course, in terms of traveling. How do you manage your travel preparations, accommodation, and all that? Yeah, they're very important. I always advise, do not work with the crowds all the time until you get to a point where you can converge. But in the preparation stage, be very careful. And I'm very sure in this country, the youth who are so learned, in fact, it is just disappointing that the political class and our leadership in this country, which are not even leaders, are not even as learned as the youth who are jobless are. Where we have the DCI, I will tell you that the people on the ground who are currently students and out of colleges and still furthering their studies are more equipped with knowledge and can even tell what the government cannot even tell, what the DCI can, or any chaos that might erupt anytime. So we are smart, but can we really invest in this smartness so that we can also move forward to the point that the government will find us ahead of them? And we must keep it. So I want us, as the young people, let's support and stand with each other, whatever the cause is. Let's support and stand with each other, because we are time. Look at the elements of account. Just then I was seeing the governor for Isiolo, I don't know, having spent some 500 and something million on other expenditure. Can we really even have understanding of what the county government spends and what are other expenditure? When somebody comes to you with this kind of issues, how do you relate with them? Because the system has been corrupted to the point that even the people who are supposed to help us fight, the different departments, now you have the police here killing us instead of protecting us. We have the judiciary being manipulated to oppress the poor. Like, if you have nothing and you've stolen, you are the one who will be asked to pay something to be maybe left. I mean, to be freed. That is, and then you have somebody who's going to steal billions of shillings and they cannot even be arrested. Like, do you really have an understanding of how these chains work, how the systems are manipulated? We cannot keep having an eye on the same message every day and still believe that we're going to walk to the right direction. When it comes to matters politics, I really have a feeling that we have not really taken our steps right. Some days back, I was telling a few people that why can't we just identify people in different parts of the country, even in the legislature? Can we have representation of people from different parts of the country who will come forward and we support them? The person who talked about no political party, I partially agreed with you, but it is by fact that we cannot go leaderless forever. Let's just be honest. We might want to have it for a very good reason, which I know. It's because if we have a leader, he will manipulate it, and we don't want to get there. But let's also think, can we really march up to the very end with no leader? Where will we? Then that means we are going to move at a force and everybody will be involved. And nobody is supposed to sit back and watch, but we're going to move together. Even if it's a matter of being killed. Yes, those of us who are in the front, let us be killed. Those of us who will remain will take things from there and move forward. But at least still at that point, we will have somebody who will still lead and take command. I mean, and command the people. so that you can listen. He can maybe guide and set, have a clear direction for us to move forward. So we might not have the leader in the picture. But truth be told, at one point you will need manipulation that happens in this country, whether it is at the political level, at leadership level, of course. I think if any of you are keen about the emergence of Babu Wine in politics, the emergence of Simba Ratio of Kisii, if you look at those young thugs, the likes of Ababu Namwamba, Kenyans, the youths really admired the fact that they are seeing youthful leaders in this country. But let's be honest, how long did it take for some malice to happen behind the scenes or wherever they happen, that now some of these youthful leaders have been associated with bad things that we didn't expect? Ask yourself. I think there's a problem. Either it is a system manipulation or it is people who go forth to stand with the youths, but then at some point they fall off. Look at somebody like Jalango as well. I don't know. He plays his politics 50-50. He does not know whether he's supposed to support sorry. Yeah. So I think we just have to see, look at the mirror, look at yourself, see what's happening, and look at that side of things, and we can really have a better way of doing things. Yeah. Thank you so much, and let's keep it NANE NANE. We shall get there. Thank you.
Asante sana Omino. Dennis, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, madam, for this opportunity you have granted unto me. Hashtag Ruto must go. This is because of what is going on around the nation. And for me, I can tell my team that this is worth taking a loan from the bank and send this guy home. If you see today what has happened or what have been noticed from the city mortuary, it's a reason that can send you to do these revolutions. Kindly, guys, let us go out and make sure.
Asante sana. Duncan. Wait a minute. If you're not present, I'm telling you, I'm dropping you. Markman. You're not present. Duncan, go ahead. Frontina, are you present, Frontina? Josephine, had you spoken? Go ahead, Josephine.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. It has been long. I've waited since 7. So much. I want to take this opportunity to say good evening to fellow Kenyans wherever you are, and also those who are. It's morning out at their timeline. Good morning. Yeah, I'm just finished from Mombasa. I had my colleague from Mombasa who was just talking like we are really doomed. But what I want to tell you guys, I want to take you to the direction on how to settle this issue once and for all. And now I just want to unveil what is really what has been happening and what is taking us, and even what makes you feel scared. First and foremost, the greatest problem we have right now and what is taking place in our position is the Shakahola sacrifice, and that is sacrifice at the Kware. These are the sacrifices which have been given so that to scare you up. In the spiritual world, for those who have listened to me some few days ago, I was explaining how things do happen in the spiritual realm for them to come and prevail in the physical world. And having said that, for the NANE NANE to come to pass, if we agree, I will prepare a daily prayer whereby we are going to do the prayer for 7 days. If we agree, we can either put it at 3 o'clock or at 1 o'clock. during the day, so that we are able to first silence the sacrifices which has been offered through Shakaola and any other altar which we do not know where the sacrifices are being taken. We silence those tops, we silence those sacrifices, and then now we march spiritually in the spiritual world, destroying each and every sacrifice, so that we can stand firm for the next 7 days. And by the 7th day, we shall power, which is has been raising up. Remember, even the people of Mombasa, munafikiria ni sandaka ni pesa wamepewa. Those monies are taken in the graves. Sinaoshwa na maji ya matanga na sinanenewa maneno. Then after that, you are given that money. That money, somebody says, hears it and says, anybody who receives this money, let them always come rushing to me like people who are coming for burial. Many people flood in those areas. And these words really work because it's a sacrifice which has been given against that, and it is being used to her against us, and without knowing, we are there fighting, and then we start feeling we are shaken because now this what is really happening? These people are not responding. They have been offering the Shakaola sacrifice, and I have evidence, spiritual world, and that's why I am not a pastor. I am a mere Catholic Christian, but I'm willing to we destroy all the tops whichever sacrifice has been put. We destroy it completely. We bring it down completely, and by the 7th day, we shall stand and blind each and every power of evil which is arising in this country. For sure, I can assure you, these people will resign, even they will leave the office before we get there. Reason being, once we paralyze the powers that they have been standing on, once we paralyze those sacrifices which they've been standing on, no matter how unholy the sacrifices are, they always work. But once we destroy them in the spiritual world, those sacrifices will not work again for them. At the moment the sacrifices are not working again for them, then automatic tutakuwa tumeshinda, and we will have won in the spiritual world, and in the physically, on the NANE NANE, we shall be there just picking our victory without action, without anything. So I kindly urge you, if we agree, I will prepare an itinerary on how we are going to do the prayers for the next 7 days from fast. Then I'll be sharing with it, and we agree as from 3 o'clock we shall be hosting within the platform, be there and give it at least 20 to 30 minutes, so that we go in the spiritual world with you, with the way I'll be guiding. We break, we destroy, we demolish with the word of God, and make sure that nothing remains standing up. By the 7th day, I can assure you, this country will be free, and all of us will be free, and you shall realize that we will not have any fear any longer. Remember one thing, anyone who has the Lord on their side, they have nothing to fear. And the word of God says that in Isaiah 54 verse 17, it says, no weapon fashioned against us shall prosper, and every tongue which shall raise against you, you shall condemn. It's us to condemn those tongues. It's us to condemn any word and rub any word that has been written. Any covenant, we break it. Once we break all these covenants on our behalf of our nation, and on behalf of the leadership of this country, I can tell you we will have. That's what I strongly felt that I want to do. We want to do, because this is something spiritual, and as much as we keep on fighting, we need to fight with all the weapons that we have. And the weapon that we have, which is very strong weapon, by the time we break all that, and then people go for prayers in their respective churches, and if you have to over sacrifice, wherever utaona unataka kutoa sandaka, you just give your sacrifice through, if hata kwa mtu ambaye ni maskini yuko barabarani, you buy them some food with anything small, and that sacrifice, we join the sacrifice of Calvary. I can tell you, nothing will ever stand again in our way, and we shall win this battle. The walls of Jerusalem, the walls of Jericho fell off after the 7 days. That's the same thing will happen in our country, and our enemies will start fighting against themselves, and they will leave. I assure you, they shall live. So kindly, can we agree?
Contributions. Arike, this is your friend Esmond. Apologies, I'm using a different account. I would just really want to appreciate the spirit and the power and the conviction that we have. And also thank you, Josephine, for sharing that. But the biggest stronghold we have is the people are taking bribes from the from the politicians. Some of these things just have completely destroyed us. But I don't want to go into that. Let me make a quick submission here. NANE NANE is a big deal, and I think there is nothing that scares your enemy other than the numbers. It's going to be bad if there's anybody that's going to be left behind. So my encouragement is that we mobilize as much as we can, but remember that we are dealing with somebody who was brought to power through prayers, and every single time that he realizes that he is being cornered by the movement, he runs to the church. He did it by inviting them as the first group to the State House. And after he has done some kind of weird alliance with Raila, then he runs now to the church and to the podium. My biggest challenge is that I don't think we are dealing with somebody who is actually mentally okay. It is one of the worst things I have ever seen on somebody who even believes their own lies. Or who thinks everybody else in this country is stupid and is the only smartest person in the room. Friends, the challenge we are dealing with, I've started to believe that this is a man that is already really dealing with a psychiatric challenge, of which if he doesn't come out and create a room for him to lie to people, then he does not have the power. So his power really is vested in either going to lie and going to sanitize himself in the pulpit. So that is what we need to deny themselves. And that's why I was debunking, and I think as we were together somewhere, I was debunking this idea of people telling the young people that if a politician comes and gives you money, take it, but you know what you are doing. That is the worst evil I have to deal with. Do not take money from a politician, because that is exactly what is causing this problem that we are dealing with, friends. We are confronting people who have mastered the art of manipulation, but also who look at us and think that because these people are poor, or in their definition of poverty, then we can control them because they know. Let's amass all the monies that we can amass, and then we know when the time comes, we'll control them. If there is a time that we need to show them that their money is useless, it's actually filthy, like filthy rags, this is the time. This movement has the power to show them that whatever you have stolen will not buy anything that will put you in power. It will never buy power for you. So if we get to a point of starting by genuinely rejecting the politician's money, and we get to a point of recognizing that enough is enough, all we need is to come together and know that we are one people, one nation. And we cannot be subjected to the lies of somebody who gets elected so that it can create jobs and bring manufacturing and everything into the country, but then he thinks he has the power to go and create jobs in other countries. Sasa hii ni ujinga gani? And then we have somebody who genuinely believes that he needs to be given credit because he did not break the law, telling us that I had the power to do what? I can shut all the media houses, but I did not do it. Now, we are dealing with a very serious case. It's about time we start looking at it from a certain angle that is way beyond just incompetence. It is something that I feel that they have looked at everything around us and they think we are very stupid. NANE NANE, if there is anything we can do to mobilize as many people as possible, if you are able to bring one more person who is not able to come by themselves, but their company, you don't have to bring, if you can bring 3, you can bring 4. How many people am I able to sponsor or to bring? Because we have our brothers who can, if you're something, I want us to get together. And we're getting together so that we can send a signal, not only to the State House, which is our ultimate goal, but to any power that has been to get to where he is. So don't be scared. We are together. I want to agree with one of the speakers here that a people united will never be defeated. We will never be defeated. May God bless you. Esther, thank you for the great job. May God bless every comrade in the house. Thank you.
Asante sana, JM. Marriott, I can see your speaker is on. Is it Marriott, Mariate? Oh Lord, we have hard names. Marriott, Mari, 8. Okay, it's not present. Card. Go ahead. Card.
Hi, hi, do you hear me?
Hi.
Okay, first of all, to Ndegwa, there's this boy called on 60 at Kikuyu police station. The law team, you guys can try to reach out the law and try to help. Like, I saw the poster when I was browsing up, then unfortunately it got lost before I get to know.
Those whatever will divert the bullets. You cannot take prayers to a gunfight. You will be killed. They were there. You have to take care of yourself. We cannot pray for a government that is killing us. This is not Enziza kina Farao, whereby the children of Israel prayed until they were released. This guy is not releasing us. It is us to get that person evict that person out. What are the strategies? For people who want to come, like we said in the earlier spaces, if you want to go for Mandamano, you'll find your way there. Does that mean that we haven't sent fare before? We have. Personally, I have sent to a number of people fares before, right? But what gives you the assurance, or what's giving you that wote umetumia do wanaenda kutokea? This is the time where people will take advantage of you with the little and just eat your monies and not show up. And these are the ups and downs of these revolutions. And we have to face those consequences. What I'm trying to say is, we know that NANE NANE is coming. We know that something is coming up on 8th of August. You have enough time to look for your fare to Nairobi. Historia atisina fare utumiwe nini. If it is important to you, you will show up. Let us not entertain these nonsense. Sorry to call it so. I'm radical, I know. I've been told that before. Sometimes I'm always so radical. But here's the thing. If you know that this 8th of anza kuweka chwani leo, go something, tell yourself that I'm going to Nairobi on 8th of tuache hizi excuses ndogo sijui nini. This is not the time. I think we've really matured since these protests began. Since the first day of the protest, the Reject Finance Bill protests, since day one, we've learned lessons as we are growing. So by this time, it should be a baby that has matured and know the do's and the don'ts of a protest. In fact, says it tunaweza peana lecture how to protest. Ugandans are even looking for solutions from Kenyans. How do we protest? That is to tell you that you guys are pros when it comes to protesting. So you've learned your lessons, you've beaten your L's, and it's now time to mature up. The baby has matured, and we cannot look back. We can't keep on making the same mistakes, if that makes sense. We've made mistakes before, we can't keep on making the same mistakes. That means we're not even growing. You understand? So again, as I conclude, rather, is it's okay to talk about all these solutions. Nisawa, we'll talk about, yes, we'll be going on such a date on NANE NANE and all that. But my point is, these border people that we keep on talking about, that's Geo, we buy them flowers. Like I said, you cannot take stones to a gunfight. These borders, they've already been paid and they've been told these guys are your enemies. They've already been told that our say washughulikiwe hivi na hivi na hivi, and that is how you cannot negotiate with a goon. If you guys have been on the streets, you know that wakikukujia wamekukujia. I'm talking from experience. So hatuwezi endelea kuwa wapole. By the way, na feeling you guys are wishe so much. You guys have to own up to this NANE NANE thing and say enough is enough. The way Ruto said enough is enough. Hata kama enough yake si enough yetu na enough yetu si enough yake, sisi enough yetu ni enough yetu. So what am I trying to say? We cannot keep on being wapole to these people. Someone oppressing you na nyinyi mnakuwa wapole, it doesn't make sense at all. Sawa? So you guys grow up, grow some balls and say we are gonna get this shit done. And it's gonna be, we are gonna get it done. Tusikuwe wapole hapa. Changamkeni bana. Hala. That's my submission.
Asante sana Ayo for that insight. Lection.
Okay, asante.
Lection, are you present?
Yeah, am I heard now? Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, go
Okay,
ahead.
asante. Nikisikia go ahead ndo najua ninaweza kuchangamka vile yote amesema. So nimeandika hapo, we are going for war. We the people are at war with the government or vice versa. The government is at war with us. Kile ambacho anamaanisha kuna kifo, kuna majeruhi, and that's what we are getting. That doesn't mean ninaogopa ama mimi niitwe coward ng'ombe. What I am telling you is factual. That's why people are dying. That's why kuna majeruhi. But mimi kama kijana ambaye nilizaliwa border ya vita, this kind of war, the spirit must rise even more. Wakati wa lazima sasa ndio mori ipamatwa, ndio lazima mori ipan war. Tusiende na uoga. Wakati mwingine amesema tunatafuta accommodation na accommodation. Kwa vita hakuna accommodation. Jitolee, fika pale, lala nje, kesha. Kama utashika, nimesema wengine police custody can be your next home for that night. Kwani unataka nikuambie utaenda pale Al-Shababu moja aliandika vita. Eti tatizo la Kenya, majeshi ya Kenya kwenda kupigana ni Al-Shababu. Kitu kimoja ambacho nimeona, sijui GENZs na millennials. I am a millennial in my kuja hapo ukaniambia kwamba wengine wakisema wamesoma vitabu vya tumbo lisiloshiba. Millennial na
as we speak, we are trying.
There's nothing else we can do without saving our country. First, we should uphold peace, because this is start by saying that let's also believe in the sovereign power of God, because without God, there is nowhere we are going. Let's just be real. So our sovereignty lies with God. To see that Kenya is brought back to what was here. I don't know. I feel like we should actually start by amplifying the real problems in this nation.
the real problems in this nation. First, to start by the citizenship of this nation. Bill Gates has brought something that is not acceptable in our country. We should start fighting him, but we are fighting for a better Kenya. It's unfortunate that he triggered us, a better Kenya. It's unfortunate that he triggered us into something that we've really longed for to have. The GENZs, trying to win the GENZs. I've had the issue of the story of Coast, how things, can we win our parents instead as well? As he wins the GENZs in Coast, let us call it a draw. Okay, how are we going to make noise? Sometimes we can use the seeds. I think there's a lady who is in court right now.
Politicians akina tuende tuambiwe ikiungwa nini, hiyo ni yako.
Nilikuwa nataka ni comment chenye 7 days. Actually prayers are good. Actually ukichokea kitu kama it is a war kama na rungu na ni raia kama, alafu you have to protect yourself actually. So August 8, just expect anything and kama kuja pale msaa kupige rungu alafu unataka kujikunje, no. Just expect they'll pay more people. Tuka umejipanga, that's it. So say
situation jamaa, na ujue pia ni nini unasema. Usiongee sana ukajichanganya. Knowledge haijawahi kufa. Kama sasa unaona wewe uko mwise sana, kana wisdom yako usilete hapa. Si bado hakuna mtu mjanja, hakuna mtu fala. Sisi wote majanja. Kama Ruto ndio mjanja, sasa sisi ni mafala. Okay? Sisi hapa tuko kwa mission, na mission yetu ni Ruto. Umetoka kwa matako nini? Wewe tafadhali, mimi nakwambia mama alikuwa princess, alikuwa queen kabla wazungu wa kuja Afrika. Wewe ukitaka umesoma vitabu, ni kitabu gani umesoma? Umesoma vitabu za Kisenge nini wewe? Umesoma vitabu gani? Hakuna uchafu wa mama, na usiwahi sema hivyo kwa mdomo wako. Na malinda kuona usiwahi. Hawa wanawake ndio tunasukuma na tunapeleka, wacha tusukume, wacha tupambane. Ada Njeria alikuja zenye aridhuku, alikuwa ameshikwa, akasema nyinyi wanaume wa gani? Nipatieni basi hizo longi. Kama wewe umesoma, tafadhali jo, nataka kuomba kitu moja, tusipelekane chini. Wacha tujengane. Tafadhali tu, tujenganeni. Kama tumesema ni 8-8, wacha tu focus kwa hiyo, wacha tujaribu kufocus venye tutapata solution, venye tutafight hii kitu. Hii tuanze kupigana sisi wenyewe kwa wenyewe. Hiyo ndio kitu wanataka. Tafadhali jo, hiyo tujengane tuende, yani akili yetu mali iko sahihi, mali tunaenda. Lakini kama unaona ni mjanja kuliko kila mtu, tafadhali wacha sisi wenye tunashikana mkono tuende pamoja. Wewe ukiwa mjanja usilete ujanja wako hapa. Wallahi ukusumbilai kitu muongee imeniuma moyo imeniuma moyo imeniuma moyo ati utaki uchafu ya wanawake senge man, toka hapa, usiwahi kuja hapo ukiongea kitu kama hiyo man. For we hakuna segregation, hakuna kitu yote hapa tukusema huyu ni mtoto huyu, hata venye hata imewekwa sijui GENZ ama ini kila mtu na hiyo label inawekwa, ndio pia unakuja kwa hivyo tu pia unataka. Usiwahi jaribu tena kuja hapo kaongea hiyo kitu muongea.
Asante sana wazalendo. Migais umekaa hapa. Migais, are you present?
Here I am, I'm present. Thank you, Esther.
Go ahead.
KOT. You are good people. The good people of this this before I begin, I just want to pay my respect to the fallen soldiers, and may God comfort them. May God comfort their families. May their families find the peace that surpasses who have been abducted. Their families, actually, they have been abducted. are cowards. You know, only cowards cover their faces, and then they start abducting people and torturing people and strangling them and leaving them for dead or shooting them to death. And come out victorious. This fight that this dictator who is now who has ruled Kenya since 2013, yeah, and he still wants to rule with iron fist. But for me, I thank God because Gen Zs, actually me, I'm a millennial, but Gen Zs, I started voting since 2007. So, but we have never won this war, yeah. But Gen Zs have opened our eyes now, and this war, I see it. I see the light now. The light of victory is now 100%. You know, on it's going to be achieved. Yeah. So let's not fight amongst each other. Let's bring the unity. Let's unify. Bring the unification. Let's make sure that this the 0808-2024 Ruto must go, whether he likes it or not. Right now is tangering, going around now, confusing the other side, the opposition side, to be on his side, so that the Gen Z can now fear. But this spirit of Gen Z, it is not from any human being. This spirit of Gen Z is from God, and it will finish this Ruto. This Ruto is Gen Z is a bigger elephant than Ruto, and it will fall. Gen Z will make this Ruto dictator to fall off, and that will be now the new Kenya. Yeah, Gen Z is going to make this Kenya great once again. Yeah, and I just, so the reason why I've said that, because I've also been a victim of abduction. Yeah, in the JKIA, okay, JKIA, I was abducted by, you know, I was taking photos in between the Gen Z. And, you know, there was a time we talked about, you know, when you see, when you're in a group and then you see those trying to capture somebody, then you go and fight for this, fight off them, and you know, release your person. But the Gen Zs, you know, they decided to scatter, and I was like, what? So I surrendered, and they threw me into the booth. But the good thing, there were pictures being taken there and videos. So I found a Gen Z inside the boot also. So this thing disturbed me, because I was like, I'm a millennial and I found Gen Z. So and these guys, they don't forgive. These are Ruto guys that only think of killing the youths, and I'm inside the deep of it. So the person who said that prayer doesn't work, prayer works, and this battle we have to win it by prayer. Yeah, because every biblical battle that the people who are against kings, who overthrew kings, they overthrew kings through prayers, because prayers, God gives you wisdom on how to practically. So that the person who said prayer doesn't work, it works. Our top weapon, so that God gives us wisdom on how to handle this beast called Ruto. He is a beast, and he has come now to destroy the youths of today, and the youths of today must rise up. And we thank Gen Zs now, because they have risen up, and Ruto is chickening out. Ruto is shivering now, and that's why he's now time Occupy Parliament was achieved. I believe his grip. So that's why he's trying every possible to put to make sure then we depose him. We eject him from that seat. Gen Zs have cornered him, and we have to join the Gen Zs on the 08/08/2024. Yeah, because he has abducted us, and we do that anymore. Yeah. So for me, prayer is what for. I just told the Gen Z, hey, the only out of this vehicle is when we confuse them. We started praying. We pray. We just, there was just some noise about prayer, and they were like, these two guys are very they are mad. These Gen Zs are mad. So me, they thought I'm a Gen Z. Yeah. So these two Gen Zs are mad. Let's just. They were like, let's take them to Kamkunji. I knew Kamkunji, they will take us to torture us, but even pray harder so that. But you see, I took us photos. Okay, they took my phone, they deleted those photos, yes, but they were like, but other people there, they've taken our photos, but these things, they are stupid. This police, Ruto police are very stupid, because they didn't know that those photos, Google automatically saves it. So it says Google automatically, you will have a backup. So there was just I will still have it even if they delete. So this them, but then they decided, wacha tuwawache hapa hivi kwa nia mradi mpaka taking us to nia mradi mpaka taking us to Kamkunji. They wanted to round they were like, but then they decided, wacha tuwawache hapa Kamkunji. Mradi, Embakasi. And they stopped the car, and we were like, oh, why are they stopping the car? And then they came out, 3 of them. And we were like, there wazimu nyinyi, nyinyi hatuwezani, hao wengine unajua tumewaua, but nyinyi ni wenda wazimu, yani mnapiga makelele kuombaomba. Hatujawahi ona majenzi wanaombaomba wakienda this is God. Sasa wakatutoa wakatutoa, and we were like, okay, wametutoa, but hii mambo huyo Gen Z naye bado anasema bado anawatukana huko, anasema nyinyi mnataka kugeuza Kenya kama Somali, and wanarudisha huyo Gen Z, ati wewe unataka kutopple the government. But sasa natuliza huyo Gen Z, namwambia Mungu ametutoa kwa death, let's just walk away, wachana now. So what happened is they told us, we'll shoot you in the head. So we just walked, but now my phone remained behind, and kujichukua simu yako. So I was like, if I go back, they may yangu ijamaliza kazi, bado itawapiga mapicha wakileta ujinga hiyo 8 of 8 itawapiga mapicha. So I just the army was also the last week was crazy, but these guys who are looking at us, they were like masked men. When they catch you, they go and kill you. Yeah, because for us as a, but I remembered I remembered the all
wherever they are. It's now time we stand up for our rights, for our sovereignty, because it's ours. Personally, I recommend that as each and everybody is presenting here, beyond the theoretical framework in the books, give us what you are doing on the ground to ensure that NANE NANE is a success. Beyond whatever Martin Luther said, beyond whatever Abraham Lincoln said, tell us what are you currently doing to ensure that NANE is a success. Because first of all, I need to appreciate the individuals in abroad. You're doing a quite awesome job supporting us financially, emotionally, and also amplifying the message that this guy must go because he has oppressed us enough. Personally, I'm conducting civic education through our local community WhatsApp group. And at least I can say I am achieving by ensuring that that mentality being hoodwinked by politicians is getting now out of them slowly by slowly. Now they can understand that there is need for them to trace how their taxes are being used to ensure that these guys that each and every day a politician comes and gives you a packet of flour. We need to clean that and ensure that even the children huyo mtoto wa class 1, class 2, grade 1 or whatever they are referred to anajua that hii barabara ni kazi ya MP kujenga. President anafaa kurule country in such a manner, and through such kind of civic education tutaweza kuwa na a stable society ama an enlightened society, because the government want to capitalize on a society that is not enlightened. They present a bill stating this and this, but when they go to the society, they configure it in a manner that shows that this bill is suited for the community, yet at the end of the day, it's oppressing the community. They are presenting bills that are triggering people to show up for the NANE, because now, in this case of the minerals, we've had the case of the whatever is happening in the minerals. Now, the moment you relocate people from wherever they are, you take their land, the ancestral lands, you're not compensating them. The minerals that are obtained in the country, nobody is benefiting from them apart from a few political class. There are so many elements in this bill that are being presented that ought to trigger each and every one of us. On the ground, be it in the leafy suburbs, everywhere, in the urban centers, everybody has got a reason to show up for the NANE NANE. So ensure that you're doing your duties diligently to ensure that you are liberating the country. Because even for the NIAs and the DCI officers in the group, can't you feel the heat of an economy that is not growing? Can't you feel the heat of an economy where we are getting oppressed? An exemption. If at all I'm going to fuel my vehicle using 2,000 shillings, you're not an exemption that you're going to wait at 1,000 shillings at because uko na a special petrol station ama fueling station. If at all naenda kununua unga 500 resources. So when I'm oppressed, you also resources. So when I'm oppressed, you also oppressed. So there's need to think twice. So there's need to think twice. To jump high, don't just ask how high, because you and the whole country at large. So as I wind up, there is a group movement. First of all, the political class. Secondly, a group among stars who went to register a political movement 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, when lucky enough, the registrar of political parties did not assent to that registration of that political party. So there are some individuals who are taking advantage of the movement, benefit, or just for their own interests. So let us be keen and be cautious. And for these Boda guys, I don't know why you want to be misused with 200 shillings. We trust you for 5 years. We did pay for your family, for your school fees. I mean, for all the bills you've got to cater each and every day. I don't know why you are allowing yourself to get misused. I've seen a post by Bonnie Harwale dishing out my. I don't know when that video was posted. I mean, but he has posted it today. I don't know when it was for. It was a recent video or it was a video that has reincarnated from wherever he has removed it from. But it shows a society where we are dependent on handouts. Wewe ukipewa hiyo 200 yako, jiulize itanilipia hospitali barabara yetu